Hey folks, this is the Views Express live right here on Monday the 19th of August 2013. How y'all doing today? It's Monday, holy crap. Another start of your week. Hope you're doing good, hope you're doing well. Email me freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. What can I say? What can I say? Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Check out the articles I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to fill you in on a few things. First of all, I almost thought I wasn't going to have a show today because the power went out here. And it just now, it just got turned on about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. So, yeah. So anyway, I don't know if the power is going to go out again, so if I suddenly go off, you know why. Anyway, want to get into a lot of stuff today. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. And I want to give a biggest shout out to Brian Keller with Just BK, his show. The best way to hear his show is to go to radiokahuna.com. radiokahuna.com. Want to talk about a Michigan teacher who, well, let's put it this way, raped a student, and the teachers are standing behind this teacher. The rest of his colleagues are standing behind him. Asylum crisis as Mexican nationals overwhelm system. That's from Breitbart.com. The other article I just talked about before that was from GlennBeck.com. Al Jazeera America promises a more sober look at the news. I doubt that. They're nothing but a propaganda machine of Saudi Arabia and the other leftists and criminals in the world. Mirroring summer blockbusters, military creating gadget-draped future fighters. And here's a article from ireport.cnn.com. Facebook supports religious discrimination. How's that one? Hey, you didn't think they did you? Well, anyway, they do. United Nations document shared on social media says civilian gun confiscation is in the works for the United States, and WHO, the World Health Organization, charged with pushing vaccines that harm children. Isn't that wonderful? Got a lot to talk about in the next 2 hours, and I am glad you are here. It's you and me today. So why not sit back, relax, grab yourself your favorite libation, and let me help you defend the Constitution of the United States of America against the New World Order. I shall return right after this.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Come listen to Journey into Light with your host Michael Long. This show is about looking into the afterlife. Where do our souls go from here? What are the true messages from above? Everybody is family, so make a journey into light with Michael Long your home. With the best guests on the show, they share the love with all who call in and those who are in the chat room. That's Journey into Light with Michael Long, Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, on blogtalkradio.com/Journey into the Light. Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor looking to hone your abilities? Are you a writer looking for actors? Then Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is for you. If you are a voice actor or a writer of sci-fi themed radio plays, send your information to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. For more information, go to eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/EastlandFilms for more information. If you are a voice actor, send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. Folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Lane S. Pierce right here for the Views Expressed live for the 19th of August 2013. How are you doing today? Doing good? Hope so, because hey, it's Monday. Now, going to the Spreaker side of things, please go to the website and donate if you can, because I'm planning on going to the next level. So go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com. Scroll on down. There's a donate button there. This show is also partially sponsored by Pierce Artworks. Yes, so just to let you know, you can help me get to the next level as well. Now, Glenn from Sacramento, he's such a loyal listener, man. I swear to goodness. He's got the phone app. He's got the stuff, all that. He's also, he also listens to another person I listen to, and that is Spencer Hughes. So go check out the Spencer Hughes Show right here on Spreaker.com. For all that information on his podcast and live broadcast, go to SpencerHughes.net. So there you go. We also, and he's in the Spreaker chat, and he says that Snopes says they don't want to take our weapons. Snopes has been snoped. Yeah, months ago I saw that on Facebook. Yes, if it's on the internet, you can believe it. Yeah, right. Snopes has been snoped. It is said that it's only two people that Google stuff and take up, and that's why I say if you're, gonna talk to me and contradict me, yeah, I know what you're going to do. You're going to find all the negative stuff, all the stuff that is in total opposition of what I say, and then try to present it as fact. Well, I can blow holes in everything, every single thing that you present. So, that's to the naysayers and the skeptics. So anyway, Snopes is a bunch of crap. And Glenn's laughing at that snicker, of course. Yeah, sure, they don't want to take our weapons. Yeah, sure, right. Did they read the information about the United Nations Small Arms Treaty? Small Arms Trade Treaty. Did they read that? Did they dig through all the information, as I have dug through some of it anyway, not all of it, and found out that once the Senate, once it gets past the Senate and all that and goes to the president, and if the president signs it, you might as well kiss your Second Amendment goodbye. Did they tell you that? Did Snopes do their homework? No, because they're stupid. We also have, on the Spreaker side of things, the one and only. Well, I hope it's only one and only. I don't know why people say that. It's just a figure of speech. Mr. Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality. Go to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook, and also distortedreality.podbean.com. Check out all his shows there as well. Trying to get him over here on Spreaker, you know what I mean? It's only a half hour. You know, if the free account is only 30 minutes. The one above that, I don't know. I forget what it is. Go to Spreaker.com. Scroll on down, look at resources, go to plans, and there's a plan that fits your budget right there. Anyway, onward and upward. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Check out the first article there. Now, I'm big on education. I really am. So, I am all for. I'm for a very well-trained, well-educated school administration, including teachers and principals and janitors, who are armed. And when I say well-trained, I'm talking, so many hours on the firing range, so many hours on an obstacle course, almost like military, but kind of tone it down a little bit. The fact of the matter is I believe that it is very rare that you would get a shooting at a school, but if there is, or potential, problems in the area that could result in a school shooting, I believe that people should be prepared no matter what. Whether you're an educator in a school, or whether you're a warehouse worker, or whether you're in the hospital or whatever. You know what I mean? I think everybody should be prepared. I'm just saying. Free America Radio on Facebook. Now, some people don't like Glenn Beck. I happen to find that everything that he says has come true to a point, although he's not digging in to or going as far as myself or anybody else in the alternative media. I don't believe he'll, step. Well, I'll put it to you this way. I listen to him and I watch him, and I can tell you this much. He wants to say more, and he wants to, tell you exactly, everything that I'm telling you. But he doesn't want to sound like he's wearing his, aluminum foil hat. You know what I'm saying? And he has been called a conspiracy theorist, and he's blown all those theories out of the water. Those people that are calling him that, he's just totally took them to task and proved them wrong. Same thing with Alex Jones. I listen to Alex Jones more. As a matter of fact, Glenn Beck's on before Alex Jones. I listen to Glenn Beck at 6 a.m. Pacific time. If I'm up, I may catch an hour and a half of the show or whatever. But I listen to Alex Jones as well. I listen to Michael Savage. I listen to a bunch of people, including Nick Tucker, and I got to tell you, I got to say this: I'm big on education, and I'm big on people getting the information out, regardless of what the messenger or who the messenger is. It's what the message is, and we have to look at that, because if we didn't look at that, I don't think we'd really know what was going on. Could be your neighbor next door saying, they're spying on you, right? Could be that. Could be the guy down the road, who works at a auto shop, and you take your car down there, and he's like, I've had the, TSA come to my shop. Why? And you start to question him. It's same thing. You know what I'm saying? You get the information. It doesn't matter who's disseminating that information. It's about the information itself, and that's what Free America Radio Network is. Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. And I may throw a whole bunch out at you, but hopefully you can understand it. If not, let me know. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Now, I mentioned Glenn Beck because this is from glennbeck.com. Teachers in Michigan stand behind a colleague convicted of rape. And I heard the show this morning. His show you can get on glennbeck.com. Listen now. Live stream. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. On the radio this morning, Glenn shared a story of John Jędrzejewski. Sorry, John. A resident of Rose City, Michigan, whose son was molested by a teacher, Neil Erickson, at Rose City Middle School. The sexual abuse happened on several occasions when Jędrzejewski's son, was in the 8th grade. The boy is now a sophomore in college. Okay. Erickson was convicted of statutory rape after a picture surfaced of the boy in a compromising position with the teacher July 10th, 2013. The judge sentenced Erickson to 15 to 30 years in prison, but 6 educators, here's the crux of the story, folks. 6 educators and 1 school board member came out in support of the teacher and asked for leniency, according to the Detroit News. Not according to Glenn Beck, according to the Detroit News. And here's what the Detroit News had said. Before sentencing, 6 teachers and 2 retired ones wrote letters to the judge asking for leniency. None of the teachers condoned what Erickson did. Instead, their letters focused on his 17 years of teaching, describing his popularity with students and teachers, how hard he worked, and how often he volunteered for school functions. Unquote. Parents in the town have since called for the firing of the teachers and the board member who had defended this guy. The town has balked at requests, claiming the firings would result in expensive litigation that would drive the city into bankruptcy. Tonight at the Ogama Heights High School auditorium at 7 p.m., there will be a meeting to decide the fate of the administrators. Now, there's audio and video there of Glenn Beck talking to the father of this guy. And the rest of the transcript is there, too, as well. Just click on the link on Free America Radio Facebook page there. My thought is this. Fire every single administrator that condones this. Oh, they're not condoning it? They're just supporting this guy and asking for leniency because all the good things he's done in the past? No, fire their ass. Why? Oh, it's real simple. They're condoning his actions. Oh, they're deflecting the situation by saying, oh, look at all the good things he's done. No. Fire them. You're condoning his actions? Yes. Pack your bags, you're out of here. Now, it's as simple as that. Well, then we're going to sue, and we're going to put the city in bankruptcy. That's why you have an attorney say they were fired because this thing is on the social media, this thing is in alternative media, this thing is out there, probably out there in the state-run media. So there's nothing this city can do to fight back because it's out there. And people who say, well, we're going to sue, blah, 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 no, fire their ass. It's not about the 17 years of him doing the good things. It's about the fact that he molested a child. Hello? Now, the guy that is spending 15 to 30 years in prison and probably sentenced for that amount of time, I don't believe he's going to... I give it 2 years before he winds up meeting his maker. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I believe that anybody in a school district, see, when you send your kids to school, no matter how old they are, if they're preschool, if they're, elementary school, it doesn't matter. Your children should have some sort of semblance of safety when they go to school. Okay? That's why I mentioned before, and I'll mention it again here, I'm all for teachers and administration being armed. Now, I also believe in common sense, so don't get your don't get your hackles up yet, okay? If you send your children to school with a semblance of security and you believe that they're going to protect them, and your kids are in some way, shape, or form, and I'll just say it, molested by a teacher, your best bet is to leave. I mean, your best option is to leave. And if the school comes back and says, well, he spent 17 years doing good things, those administrators and those board members should be fired because you condoned it, you probably knew about it, you hid it, you covered it up, you're out of here. Now, if they say, we're going to investigate this and find out who else knew about this and didn't do anything about it, that person should be arrested and thrown in jail for, for not coming forward. What is that? I was going to say complacency, but that's not it. It's something else. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But I'm serious. I mean, people really need to use common sense. That's why I believe parents should go to the school once a week if they can. I mean, if their job would allow them to do so. Go to the school once a week and just sit in and talk with the principal and talk to the vice principal. Sit there and find out what's, and talk to your child's teachers and just find out, hey, what are you guys teaching my kid? Well, here's what we got. Well, I'd like to see their homework. Okay, cool, And do that. That way you get a foundation of what they're teaching your children. I should just put it to you honestly, what they're indoctrinating your children with. Because these schools are not schools. They're governmental indoctrination institutes. That's what they are. That's what the Mexican schools are right across the southern border, because those schools are teaching their children that Southwest in the United States is their land. It's Atzland or whatever the hell it is. And guess what? They're pushing for it. They're really pushing for it. I mean, it's hard enough protecting your children at home, but when you let them go for 4 or 5 hours a day to a school in hopes that they get a good education, but things like this, in this news story, you can click on the link on Free America Radio on Facebook. Teachers in Michigan stand behind a colleague convicted of rape. If you've got teachers like that, you're in sorry shape. You and possibly your neighborhood and possibly your school. But yeah, you have to really look at these things intently and ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? In other words, if I was on that board, I would immediately fire the teacher. I would look at everybody else and say, either, we can vote to have background checks on every single teacher in this school right now today, or we can resign our positions immediately because we're not doing our job. And an educator's job is to do just that, educate. Not sit there and cover things up. Not sit there and say, well, how much money is this district getting and how much money are we getting? No. that leads into a whole different story that I want to talk about education. I mean, if you don't have to pay anything from the time you go to kindergarten to the time you graduate high school, why should you pay to go to college? You know, school loans for community colleges and universities, school loans specifically, they're all fraud. They're all a fraud, every single last one of them. But I digress. That's for a different segment. But what is your view about this? This teacher molested this kid, and he's now a junior in college. Should you just let it go, or should you? The kid was in the 8th grade. He was 13, 14, or something like that. So, I mean, seriously. No, this guy should be arrested, thrown in jail. And, there's other things that should be done to this guy, but all I can say is if I went and did it, you'd have to bring bail money. Anyway, Free America Radio on Facebook. Check things out. It's Monday, the 19th of August, 2013. Going to the Spreaker side of things, looking at Omar in the Spreaker chat. Hello. Appreciate that very much. Anyway, Free America Radio and Facebook. Asylum crisis as Mexico nationals overwhelm system. Breitbart.com. You can check that out as well. Of course, we have Judge Andrew Napolitano. If the Constitution and the Fourth Amendment were written for anything, they were written to prevent the NSA surveillance. Now, somebody here says in the comment, says, WTF, this the commenter does not know grammar. Okay. He says he was, Judge Napolitano was for the Patriot Act. I can't stand conservatives who thought the Patriot Act was okay and now are all up in arms. I also hate the liberals who weren't for the Patriot Act, but now Obama is president. They are defending NSA surveillance. Hypocrisy on both fronts. People need to stop thinking on terms of party lines and need to start thinking for themselves. I agree to a point. I do believe people need to start thinking for themselves and going from there. Another commenter says, another person with no intellect that has to resort to name-calling. This is really sad and so reflects the lack of education in this country. I don't know what he was replying to, but there are, let me look here. There's a lot of things. Basically, I'm going to say this. Regardless of the state's constitutions, the overall rule of law is the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights. Period. Now, prior to 1871, the Constitution covered all the states of that time. Every state had a rule of law, and that state was the Constitution and Bill of Rights of the United States of America. After 1871, with the inception of the creation of the Corporation of the United States of America, we had it okay. But after 1871, everything went downhill. There wasn't anything that we could do because we were lied to. That's just the way it is. We were lied to. Okay? On the Spreaker side of things, Glenn from Sacramento says he's going home. He's at work. He's going to have a safe trip there, dude. And thanks for listening. Appreciate that very much. And you can listen on your iPhone, iPad, and all sorts of other portable electronics, communicational electronics. The electronic communication device of your choice by going and getting one of the apps at Spreaker.com for the iPhone, for the iPad, and everything else. So, hey, it's the bottom of the hour, folks, and guess what? I'll be back right after this. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. America Matters. Enthusiastically entertaining, educating, enlightening everyone everywhere, while including a unique mix of all forms of media, including the internet, with continual live streaming available for all their shows. Their website is www.americamatters.us. Listen to America Matters on 101.3 Renegade Radio, krng.streamon.fm, or 99.1 FM Talk Radio, weekends at 99.1fmtalk.com, or 12:30 a.m. at 1230kjfk.com.
What are you doing on Sunday evenings? Well, you ought to be listening to The Unnamed Show with Reverend Wayne S. Pierce and Reverend Laura Smith Clemens. The Unnamed Show, airing every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. The Unnamed Show is the best show on the web.
From here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Listen. Hey, yes, there we go. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. You are listening to The Views Expressed live right here on the 19th of August, 2013. Welcome back. We're at the bottom of the first hour. We got another hour and a half to go. Hey, if you heard the Wayne S. Pierce show earlier today, you can probably get an earful of me there as well. So check it out. Going to the Spreaker side of things, I want to say hello to Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Also, distortedreality.podbean.com. Check out his podcasts over there. And also, I want to say to another person that wandered in just now. Well, he listens. Kowalski, how you doing? Awesome for you to be here. And of course, Glenn from Sacramento is listening to me on the iPod or iPad or iPhone app, whichever one he may have, listening to this show in his car on his way home from work. Have a safe trip. Yes, Free America Radio on Facebook. Guess what tomorrow is, folks? Just take a wild guess. I'll give you a hint. They bought current TV from Al Gore. Al Jazeera America promises a more sober look at the news. No, they don't. They're a propaganda arm of the Saudi Arabian and all the... that's the same freaking organization that put out those bin Laden tapes. By the way, if you check those tapes and really go into the mechanics and everything of the tapes and look at all the sound and everything, and there's... If you're a computer genius and an audio video genius, you can figure it out that all those videos from bin Laden, they were all made by the CIA. Go check it out. It's all right there. I mean, seriously. Tomorrow, 14 hours of straight news every day, hard-hitting documentaries, correspondence in oft-overlooked corners of the country, and fewer commercials than any other news channel. Really? This is, by the way, from nytimes.com, from newyorktimes.com. The trash tabloid paper of record. Sounds like something a journalism professor would imagine. In actuality, it is Al Jazeera America, the culmination of a long-held dream among the leaders of Qatar. Go check them out. The Middle Eastern emirate that already reaches most of the rest of the world with its Arabic English language news channel. The new channel, created specifically for consumers in the United States, will join cable and satellite lineups on Tuesday afternoon. By the way, they also have a weekend show, which probably won't get seen here because they don't want to have people in uproar. But over in Saudi Arabia, they have somebody on the weekends that come on that say, kill Americans. Go check it out. I'm not kidding you. Okay. Al Jazeera America is the most ambitious American television news venture since Rupert Murdoch and Roger Ailes started the Fox News Channel in 1996. It faces some of the same obstacles that Fox eventually glided over, including blanket skepticism about whether distributors, advertisers, and viewers will give it a chance. But that is where the parallels to other channels end, because Al Jazeera America is going against the grain of seemingly every trend in television news. Quote, viewers will see a news channel unlike the others. As our programming proves, Al Jazeera America will air fact-based, unbiased, and in-depth news, unquote, said Ahab al-Shihabi, the channel's acting chief executive, on a news conference call last week. He was explicit about what will be different, saying, quote, there will be less opinion, less yelling, and fewer celebrity sightings, unquote. Mr. al-Shihabi and the other Al Jazeera representatives say it's a word that's difficult for me to say, apparently. He said that their research supports their assertions that American viewers want a PBS-like news channel 24 hours a day. Originally, the new channel was going to have an international bent. Now, its overseers emphasize how much American news it will cover and how many domestic bureaus it will have, which some see as an effort to appease skeptics. Would-be competitors at big broadcast news divisions like NBC and established cable news channels like CNN have mostly shrugged at the startup. A senior television news executive predicted that Al Jazeera America would, at the outset, receive even lower ratings than the channel it is replacing, Current TV. Last month, the Lame Duck Current had about 24,000 viewers in prime time, according to Nielsen data. Fox News had 1.3 million. Al Jazeera acquired Current TV for, Al Gore pocketed, $500 million in January to start an American channel after trying unsuccessfully for years to win cable and satellite carriage for its English language international news channel. But with carriage comes concessions. Some distributors discourage their partners from giving programming away on the internet. Al Jazeera will have to block American users from the live streams of its programmings that tend to be popular in periods of tumult overseas. And the whole article goes through all kinds of stuff. But anyway, what do you think? I'm not going to watch it. How about you? I don't get it, folks. I really don't. I would rather I would rather watch paint dry than watch Al Jazeera. I really would. Moving on. Free America Radio on Facebook, mirroring summer blockbusters, military creating gadget-draped future fighters. NBCnews.com has this. As soon as the page loads up, Bill Briggs over there at NBC News wrote this. Thank you. Hollywood's Summer of Super Soldiers featuring tech bedecked. Featuring tech bedecked, I love these words, troops like Matt Damon in the #1 movie Elysium offers a flicker of futuristic battle gear as a real U.S. military explores innovations from exoskeletons to advanced armor to outfit the next-gen combat fighter. I just want to put this out here right now. They've had exoskeletons around for at least 10 years. They just had to miniaturize it and make it better, more sleeker, that kind of thing. Much like Lawrence Livermore Laboratory has had a tricorder for many, many years that they've been working on. They just had to miniaturize all the parts and make everything a lot smaller and work on that. Continuing at the laboratories, if I can talk, at the laboratories of Special Operations Command in Tampa, Florida, one project is dubbed Talos, Tactical Assault Light Operator Suit, and the blueprint involves blending an array of emerging technologies into a single gizmo-rich body-shielding uniform. Quote, how do we take the best of what's out there, being academia, large industry, small industry, and just three guys with a bright idea and focus that energy toward the special operator to give him better protection and better capability? Unquote, said Jim Gertz, who oversees science and tech development, procurement and production of special operations. The command includes elite forces like Army Rangers and Navy SEALs. Quote, certainly that involves body armor, but it also involves... how do I get them better situational awareness? How do I get them better communications? How do I allow them to move better without getting hurt? Gertz said. How do we continue to focus technology innovation and the good old American monster garage kinds of things to continue to help the operator, unquote. It's a pretty lengthy article, folks. Go check that out. Yeah, how would you like your military to look like freaking cyborgs? Oh, wait, they already have those. Okay. Folks, I like technology. I'm not knocking it. And I hope that we can come up with something that can protect our soldiers. But here's the problem. We have soldiers that are being drugged up, booted out, banged up, killed. Why? Number one, we are involved in unconstitutional, illegal wars all over the world. Well, that protects us. No, it doesn't. It protects the country that we're in. It doesn't protect the United States of America. So the technology that we need here should be with its people. That would mean you and I, folks. And I'm all for technology. I mean, I'm all for making things simple and efficient, and I'm all for it, even though I can figure out complicated things. Let's make it simple. Let's break it down. But when you have people building exoskeletons and all this and RoboCop-style protection, I mean, what are you after? You are certainly not going to use that thing to go hunting deer with, okay? They've already got technology. You know, what that article tells you is only what they want you to know at this point. They have technology that is 60, 70 years ahead of everything that we see. Okay? Now, a lot of people might say, well, you know, this stuff is good. You know. Oh, yeah, I can agree with that. But in the wrong hands, how would that be? I mean, it's not like you're going to have, you know, Tony Stark or anything, you know, out there creating an Iron Man suit. Oh, wait, they already have that too. How does technology make us better? How does technology make us free? How does technology, costing billions and billions of dollars to research and develop, help the average Joe on the street? You know what I'm saying? How does it, I mean, we have to look at what's going on around us, and we have to question not only the the common sense of our leaders, but we really have to question, what are they using all of our tax dollars for? 2 words, black projects. So yes, even though I'm in support of technology and high technology and ways to protect our soldiers, I'm also thinking about, wait a minute, if they can do that and spend our money on that, why don't they take that money and give it to us so that we can develop that as well? Or we can develop our ideas. I mean, look, there's a recent movie out called Jobs with Ashton Kutcher. Talks about Steve Jobs. Look at Bill Gates. Look at other computer people. The guy that created, years ago now, it's Netscape. And then what about Linux? Why not take that money that you put in all of these designs and research and all of that into military hardware and give it to us, at least 10% of that, and give it to the American people, the entrepreneurs that can build better stuff, and put it in the hands of the private person to do this, instead of wasting my tax dollars on something that I'm not going to be using. You see what I'm saying? It's like me, you know, it's like somebody asking me to go to dinner, and only buying for them. You know what I mean? Only buying dinner for them, and then, you know, I got to buy my own. Well, you were going to buy dinner, and, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm all for technology. I'm all for technology. Let's bring it on, man. But let's put it in the hands of the private industries, not government-funded industries like DARPA and NASA and all this. No. Let's privatize all that. Let's put it in the hands of the creative, people behind the scenes and the private companies, and let them do with the technology that they know they can do. You know, look at Branson. You know, Sir Richard Branson. Look at what he did with Virgin Airlines and Virgin Mobile. And who's the other guy? One of the guys that was, part of Microsoft. He went out and, created his own little plane that went into space. I forget the guy's name, sorry. My whole point is put everything in the private industry, not into the government industrial complex. I mean, if you have an idea for, something better, or you look at something and say, hey, I can create this, shouldn't you be first in line as an American citizen and an entrepreneur to get the money you need to start your company and to roll with the plans on what you want to create? I'm just saying, entrepreneurs need the money, not stupid government projects. So, but like I said, I'm all for technology. Just put it in the hands of the private people, you and I. I think we would know what to do with it, and probably do it much better and much more efficiently than the freaking government can. And every time they touch something, it goes to hell in a handbasket. 2 examples: the railroad and the post office. So, anyway, Free America Radio on Facebook. Check things out there. WHO, World Health Organization, charged with pushing vaccines that harm children. New Delhi, as an omsj.org. As soon as the page decides it wants to come up, I'll read you the article. The facts are the facts, people. When you look at how much money the government spends, I should say wastes, in development and research of certain things that are probably easier and much less expensive to research and develop than in the private company or private business. And the private business could probably do it a lot less as well, but you put it in the hands of the private people and they'll do with it what needs to be done. World Health Organization charged with pushing vaccines that harm children. This is from omsj.org. Click on the link on Free America Radio on Facebook. In a hard-hitting editorial, the Indian Journal of Medical Ethics has accused WHO, the World Health Organization, of promoting pentavalent vaccine, quote, by stating falsely that no adverse event following immunization has ever been reported with the vaccine, unquote. The journal says this is contrary to facts. IJME editorial by Dr. Jacob, I don't know how to pronounce, Puliel, I think, head of the pediatrics at St. Stephen Hospital in New Delhi, is based on his detailed investigation into the deaths of children in Bhutan, Sri Lanka, India, Vietnam following use of pentavalent vaccine. The vaccine combines diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, or DPT vaccine, long used in national immunization programs, with hepatitis B and H, influenza B, and Hib vaccine. The editorial points out that WHO had not disputed the death of 12 children soon after immunization and, quote, therefore is patently wrong and misleading for it to conclude that no fatal AEFI have ever been associated with the vaccine, unquote. It's a pretty good article. My thoughts on vaccines is this, no matter where you're at in the world. My thought on vaccines is this. Don't get them. And I'll tell you why. I'll make it really, really simple. That's my opinion. Don't get them. But I'll make it very simple to help you understand why I say that. Growing up, I would get, it would seem like every other week I would be at the doctor's office getting a vaccine when I was a kid. I didn't turn out bad because back then there wasn't all that garbage in the vaccines as there is now. Known cancer-causing agents, known, all sorts of chemicals that shouldn't be in there. And nothing has ever happened to me. There's nothing wrong with me. But here's the thing. When I got those shots in the late 60s, early 70s, when I was a kid, we didn't have all this problem. But about the mid-70s, early 80s, I started reading documents that literally made me think what was in those vaccines. You've got all sorts of garbage in those vaccines nowadays. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't give my dog those vaccines at all. Somebody said, well, what about the flu? You know what I do when I get flu-like symptoms, or I do have the flu? I grab a blanket, I grab a lot of water, I grab some juice and some aspirin, and there you go. I sweat that puppy out. When it breaks, I'm done. Take about a day to recoup, and voila, I'm back in business. That's what I do. It's miserable. It sucks. But you know what? I sweat it out. I get it out. I do whatever I can. And I'll tell you what. It's not easy, but it works. The only other vaccine I've had in recent memory is when I was working in California, I had to get the hepatitis vaccine. That's it. That was back in, I believe, 2002. That was it. Or no, 2003. I mean, that was it. It was done. But you can do whatever you want. And if you believe in the vaccines and if you believe in all of that, you go right ahead and take them. I'll just stand there and make you, feel comfortable as you fall on the ground and start convulsing. Because there's been known incidences of that. As a matter of fact, there's an article on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, I believe it's up there, I'd have to go look again, where vaccines were given, or a girl was vaccinated and several weeks later died. I know people who have taken their kids as they're young and had vaccines given to them, and weeks later, on average about a month later, they wind up having autism. European doctors and foundations have found, and research has found, that vaccines cause autism. Enough of it. I'm done with you skeptics and naysayers telling me I'm wrong. You go look it up. It's going to be a slap in the face to you like it was to me. It's like, what? Go do the research. I mean, I have to. Jeez. Free America Radio on Facebook. FreeAmericaRadio.weebly.com is the website. You want to help support the show? You can if you want. It's totally up to you. There's a donate button there. And donate is, I don't know, you got $1. There you go. Keeps the website up and the show going, and that's what it does. I'm planning on going to the next level, but yeah, I'm going to need a little help getting there. So thank you. Appreciate that very much. So many things that we have to really, really pay attention to. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't want anybody looking at me and saying,
"What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?"
I really, really don't, okay? It's not something I really want anyone to be saying at this point. Anyway. Guess what? Top of the hour? Yes, it is. And I'll be back right after this. With her unique, fast-paced, witty sarcasm, Angel Clark brings you the news of the day with a creative twist. Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern on radiofreedom.us. You can also listen to her live on the Liberty Radio Network at lrn.fm.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Come listen to Journey into Light with your host Michael Long. The show is about looking into the afterlife. Where do our souls go from here? What are the true messages from above? Everybody is family, so make a journey into light with Michael Long your home. With the best guests on the show, they share the love with all who call in and those who are in the chat room. That's Journey into Light with Michael Long, Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, on blogtalkradio.com/Journey into the Light. Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor looking to hone your abilities? Are you a writer looking for actors? Then Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is for you. If you are a voice actor or a writer of sci-fi themed radio plays, send your information to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. For more information, go to eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/EastlandFilms for more information. If you are a voice actor, send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. Want to know what's happening all around us? You do? Great! Come check out the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Forever Me by Thomas Amo. Hannah Richards isn't your typical 16-year-old at Wichita Falls High. Fashion, trends, cosmetic, and style are unimportant to her. An avid reader, guitar player, and classic movie and television buff, Hannah marches to the beat of her own drum. Visible only to her father, the town sheriff, and her two best friends, Lauren and Haley, Hannah lives a simple, unpampered life as an Eastie. After coming to the aid of Taylor Monroe, a popular member of the Stilettos at school, and a series of misunderstandings with her friends, Hannah is forced to reinvent herself. She quickly gets caught up in a life much different than the one she knows, where status, glamour, makeup, and appearance and acceptance become her masters. And what of the dark secret that haunts the streets of Wichita Falls? Can Hannah survive the lies, deceit, jealousy, and rage that are now waiting for her around every corner? Will she succumb to the pressures of popularity? Or will she be crushed under the heels of the Stilettos? High school is hard enough just being yourself, let alone trying to be someone you're not. Forever Me by Thomas Amo. Available on the Kindle at Amazon.com.
Listen to DJ Russ on Rap More Than Words, with songs like the Black Eyed Peas' Don't Stop the Party.
This is that original. This has no identical. You can't hack my digital future aboriginal.
And flow right up. Let it roll.
Good time, go home. Come on, baby, let the good times go home. Come on, baby, let the good times go home. Come on, baby.
And many more of your rap hits right here on Spreaker.com.
Hey folks, this is The Views Expressed. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. How you doing for the 19th of August, 2013? So glad you're here. So glad you're listening. Go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com. Yes, email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. More than happy to answer any question you have. No question is off limits, and if I don't know, I'll tell you. I don't know. Sound good? Okay. Anyway, go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Check that out as well. United Nations document shared on social media says civilian gun confiscation is in the works for the United States. Yeah, Snopes says that they're not after our guns, and Snopes is full of crap. From PolitiFact. A reader recently sent them, or as they say, sent us, a realistic-looking document from the United Nations with a pretty explosive claim that the world body is moving forward with plans to help member nations disarm their civilian populations of, quote, military-grade, unquote, or, quote, concealable, unquote, and, quote, hunting-grade firearms, and even, quote, ammunition and components to manufacture ammunition, unquote. Americans who support the right to bear arms have long expressed worry that the U.S. government is on the verge of taking away lawful citizens' guns, and that concern has only increased when the UN body is believed to play a supporting role. The document sent to us, to PolitiFact, by the reader would seem to be, pardon the expression, a smoking gun. Yes. Full text is there as well. Superficially, the document has the trappings of officialdom. The blue UN logo at the top, along with the name of the United Nations Office of Disarmament Affairs, a real office. It's dated August 5th, 2013, and labeled Restricted. The headline reads, Disarmament Commission Civilian Weapons Confiscation Study Group. And it's filled with believable bureaucratic jargon, such as creation of the codification framework and the need to undergo a full review by the Office of the Secretary General. And you can read that there by clicking on the link on Free America Radio on Facebook. Yes. Little side note for the show, folks. Free America Radio Network has 16,960 followers to it. So can we pump that up a little? Pass the show on to people who you might think want to listen to a show like this. There's proof beyond proof beyond proof that gun control does not work. For instance, Cambodia established a gun control in 1956. From 1975 to 1977, 1 million, quote-unquote, educated people unable to defend themselves were rounded up and exterminated. Okay? Just putting it out there. Now, I want to take you over to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page because there's a couple of articles over there I read earlier But if you weren't with me over on that show, I'll read them to you now. Okay. Now, here's something that really irks me. And before I get to that article, let me tell you this from Rowan Dark over at CNN, or I should say ireport.cnn.com. Facebook supports religious discrimination. After repeating reports of hate speech against witches or any pagan who does not believe in Christianity, Facebook has decided not to remove the page titled "Witches Must Die by Fire." The page creator has wisely selected to remain anonymous, but seems unperturbed by the numerous pagans who post on the page in solidarity against his hate speech. Here is a sample status update from his page. Witches must die. I created this page to raise awareness. Your evil practices are binding, casting spells, channeling bad luck to others, having sex with people while they're sleeping and not knowing about it, taking other people's money and jobs by evil means must be exposed. Moreover, we, the Christians, will demonstrate that your power is really nothing at all compared to ours. The battle lines have been drawn, unquote. With people labeled as witches still being murdered across the world, Facebook should not allow such pages to continue to exist. By allowing it to exist, they're essentially turning a blind eye to the fact that religious discrimination is still a very powerful issue in the world today. An update as of today says, now he is personally attacking Wiccans, and with further reports, Facebook continues its policies of denying any report within a matter of seconds. If you press the report button, count the times it takes for it to be denied. My most recent attempt was 36 seconds. At any rate, here is one of the most recent lines the owner posted on his page. Quote, no weapon that is fashioned or formed by witches against Christians shall prosper, and every Wiccan tongue is already condemned in judgment by fire in Jesus' name, unquote. This is obviously a personal attack aimed at Wicca, and he goes so far as to slander known Wiccan coven leaders such as, via the inbox from Paige Rowan Star Thorpe, I'm going to dance around naked under the full moon singing chants to the devil, and once I'm done, I will make love to a beautiful woman. She will then be cursed and die a horrible and painful death, dear Paige. No more. Enough is enough. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Another update. Everyone, there is a link that I'm going to post that leads you to a petition on the change.org asking Facebook to stop ignoring hate speech and threats to violence towards pagans. Please sign it. I'm going to say this. I am not for... well, let me rephrase that. I'm against hate speech. I'm against any speech that is directed for the intent to harm. If I want to call somebody a prick, I'll call them a prick. It's not harming them, it's just words. If I want to call somebody a dumbass, I'll call them a dumbass. It makes no difference, it's just words. I'm not physically there harming them. But if someone says something that all witches must die, that is an intent to harm from apparently a Christian who, in their faith, preaches forgiveness. Okay? If I want to call somebody stupid, I'll call them stupid. I'm done with stupid people. I'm not harming them in any way. And it's my freedom to say whatever it is I want to say. Now, if I walked up to somebody and called them stupid, doubled up my fist and cold-cocked them in the face, yeah, then there might be a problem there. And I would deserve to go to jail. But I'm not harming when I just use words. Well, you're psychologically harming them. Okay, go back into your room, put on your straitjacket, and read Dr. Spock. You'll be fine. For those that don't know who Dr. Spock is, he was one, how to discipline your children, blah, 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 blah. It's just a long time ago. Anyway. But I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm all for saying whatever it is you want to say that you believe in and standing on that and expressing that in any way, shape, or form. Guided by your conscience. I'm not for saying something and intentionally going out and hurting people. That's stupid. I'm just not going to do it. It's wrong. But apparently this Christian in this story, really, seriously has some problems, don't you think? He calls himself a Christian, but then he can't forgive? What? Doesn't make any sense to me. Well, let me ask you a question. A really good question here. Let me ask you a question. Somebody comes up to you, say a friend of yours, you haven't seen in a while, comes up to you and you guys are talking. You guys disagree with one another on certain things, and then the tension builds up a little bit, and he calls you a few names. Is that going to hurt you? It's going to rile you up a little bit. It's going to, probably think, well, geez, why did he say that, But it's not physically going to hurt you. Now, if your friend, disagreed with you in such a way to where he would say something and then slug you, yeah. How would you feel if your friend did that? I would just look at him and go, what the hell? Kind of leads me into this. The Muslim Brotherhood. Their whole thing is, you don't believe our religion, we kill you. What? Don't believe me? Go look it up. Why do you think they've beheaded a whole bunch of some priests? They burn churches in Egypt right now. They've over 25 at last count, or 30, I guess. They've paraded nuns around as if they were, looking as if they were in a concentration camp. They've killed over 600 people. Oh, and the great part about that is, if there is one, and I'm being sarcastic, folks, the sad part about that is Washington, D.C. and the CIA and all those folks are funding the Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah. The president, the vice president, the secretary of state, yeah, they're all supporting him. But no, you get a Christian in there that wants to talk about, God and Jesus and all that. You know what? They're not going to tolerate that. That's why you get these religious wars. I believe that within the next couple of years, if not sooner, there's going to be a massive, massive jihad against the United States on its shores in probably some major cities around the U.S. Because that's the next step, folks. They kill the Christians, they're going to come after the Jews. They kill the Jews, then they're going to come after the citizens. That would be you and I. And sticking your butt in a bunker somewhere ain't going to help either. Use common sense and seek strategy. It's the only way to win. It's the only way to win. Now, RT, Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality is in the Spreaker chat, and he says, RT News says Obama suspended aid to Egypt. And, good. And he also says Obama quietly suspends aid to Egypt, calls it a coup. Something is coming from this. Yeah, it's called World War III. Look how unstable the Middle East is right now. Look at the puppet over in Iran. Look at the puppet in Iraq. Look at the puppet in Syria and in Libya. What other country doesn't have one of our puppets? That would be Saudi Arabia. Think about it, folks. Think about it. You got on one hand, you have a bunch of people saying, well, we got to have peace in the Middle East. On the other hand, you have a bunch of other people who the same puppeteer is funding and moving and manipulating, saying, no, we have to have this, and and the Muslim Brotherhood, and all this and all that. They're trying to do their thing. Let me ask you this. Have you heard anything about Hezbollah? I haven't since, 2007, 8, somewhere around there. We're looking at a massive powder keg going off in the Middle East. Massive. We're not just talking a bunch of people with spears and swords. No. That was thousands of years ago. No, we're talking massive. Huge. Remember in 19... God, I can't remember now. 1993, was it 93? When our military went into Kuwait? Oh, even after that, 2003. Folks, the other shoe is about ready to drop. Are you ready? The other shoe is about ready to hit the floor. Consider three things, folks. President Obama backs the Muslim Brotherhood. That's one. Number two, all this diplomacy is failing for two reasons. A, Benjamin Netanyahu over in Israel, doing the best he can. I can't fault him for that, but he's going after Iran. And B, our military is strung out all over the world, not in the United States. The third thing we need to think about is this. Right now, this minute, this hour, at 22 after the top of the hour, 22 minutes past the top of the hour, the United States of America is vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Those are the three things we have to think about. And let me give you a couple of scenarios. A false flag event overseas that would cause a complete and utter upheaval in the Middle East, probably staged by our own people. Or B, a false flag event right here in the United States, causing people to galvanize around a more strict fascist dictatorial regime. The outcome, if that were to happen, would be President Obama suspending the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America and setting himself up as a dictator. Okay? Now, is that ever going to happen? I don't know. Is it possible that that could happen? Very much so. And the bigger question is, are you ready? Are you ready for Federal Protective Services, Homeland Security, police being on the streets of the United States of America. Are you ready for militarized law enforcement coming into your house just because they can? Because the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are suspended and martial law is now implemented across the United States? To come into your house and take whatever they want and to take your stored up food and your weapons and all of that, or probably worse, shoot you? Are you ready? Because if they don't shoot you because of that, they'll pack your butts up and take you off to an internment camp somewhere. Don't believe it? Go talk to the Japanese Americans that were born and raised here back in the 30s and 40s and how they were kids and taken off to different internment camps. Oh, don't believe it? Talk to actor George Takei. He was a child in Kansas in one of the FEMA camps, in one of the internment camps back then. I say FEMA camps because that's what they are now. Is it coincidence that Bill Clinton in the 90s shut down a whole lot of military bases? How much you want to make a bet that half of those are FEMA camps now? There's a lot that you have to consider. There's a lot that you have to consider only because it's common sense, only because that if you cannot look outside your home, walk around your neighborhood or go downtown in your city and see this stuff hiding in plain sight, then you're as blind as a bat. Myself and the lovely Diana Nelson from Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show are planning a trip. We figured February is a good time. Not going to tell you what date, but February is a good time. We're planning on going south. We're planning on going to Las Vegas. And boy, do I have a huge surprise then. Oh, just stay tuned. You'll know more about it as the time comes. Got to work out all the details. But when you're out and about tonight or today or tomorrow or wherever you're at, take a look around your downtown area. Take a look at where you're at. As coming from a theater background as I have for many, many years, a director once told me 4 words which I shall remember for the rest of my life. Be in the moment. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about what you're going to have for dinner. Don't think about lunch if that's where you're at. Think about that moment. Be in the moment. And just open yourself up to what's around you, and you will be amazed at what you can see. I mean, Nick Tucker has from Distorted Reality Radio, has a video of him showing you Illuminati symbols in Las Vegas. In plain sight. And I would say about 90, maybe 99% of the people have no clue what it is. They would probably look at this symbol and say, "Oh, it's on the back of the dollar bill. How quaint. Oh," and then walk on and do whatever it is they got to do. I'd like to go down there and interview people walking by. You know what this is? Can you tell me what this is? Why not? Mark Dice does it in Southern California. He'll walk out and ask anybody a question. Bottom of the hour. I want you to email me if you have any questions. No question is off limits. If I don't know, I will tell you. And, we'll go from there. Anyway, she'll be back right after this. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. America Matters. Enthusiastically entertaining, educating, enlightening everyone everywhere, while including a unique mix of all forms of media, including the internet, with continual live streaming available for all their shows. Their website is www.americamatters.us. Listen to America Matters on 101.3 Renegade Radio, krng.streamon.fm, or 99.1 FM Talk Radio, weekends at 99.1fmtalk.com, or 12:30 a.m. at 1230kjfk.com.
What are you doing on Sunday evenings? Well, you ought to be listening to The Unnamed Show with Reverend Wayne S. Pierce and Reverend Laura Smith Clemens. The Unnamed Show, airing every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. The Unnamed Show is the best show on the web.
Hey, this is Wayne Pierce. For the views expressed, email us at freeamericaradio@usa.com and go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty or safety. Benjamin Franklin. From the Free America Radio Network, from behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9, this is The Views Expressed Live. Yes, it is The Views Expressed Live right here from Monday the 19th of August 2013. How you doing? And we have Mr. Samo in the Spreaker chat. How you doing there? Hope things are going well for you on this Monday. We have a lot to get into in the next half hour. Things are changing for the views expressed in the Wayne S. Pierce Show. So please stay tuned for more on that. And I will, give you more information as I put it all together and develop it. Basically, I'm combining the shows. And the more I develop it, the more you will see on the website what I'm doing. freeamericaradio.weebly.com. And, give me about 20 seconds, folks.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene, destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 5:15 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And SouthNet 1.
Get your morning started with the Morning Brew on 92.6 The Blitz. Music from the 60s, 70s, and more. The Blitz 92.6. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am wondering, why are you here?
Do or do not. There is no try. Do. There is no try. Do or do not. There is no try.
I am wondering, why are you here?
Yeah, this is the Views Expressed live right here on Spreaker.com and also on freeamericaradio.weebly.com. Hey, Nick, how's this for an entrance? Yeah, folks, a little bit of Disturbed right there with David Draymond and the rest of his bandmates. And yes, news from him he has said that yes, Disturbed is getting back together. They're just finishing up their side projects. They are looking forward to getting back together. Anyway, this is the Views Express Live right here. Yes, more to come. Obama's new math curriculum gives kids points for wrong answers. Yeah, you heard that right. This is from FoxNewsInsider.com. The White House is imposing what some are calling a controversial new curriculum called Common Core in schools across the country. In a YouTube video, a curriculum coordinator in Chicago explains how through this new program, students can actually get the answer wrong, but still receive full credit. She said, even if you said, this is a quote from this curriculum coordinator in Chicago, even if they said 3 times 4 equals 11, if they were able to explain their reasoning and explain how they came up with their answer really in words or in oral explanations, but they just got the final number wrong, we're really more focusing on how, can you say, give them E for effort? How's that? Yeah. Folks, I'm big on education. I am a proponent of reading, writing, and arithmetic. And I got to tell you, there's a war on education. Yes, there's a war on drugs. There's a war on intellect. There's a war on copyright. There's a war on terrorism. Yeah. I get it. But this is an active war. This is an intellectual war. This is a war that is going to cause your children to suffer. If somebody doesn't make it, folks, if somebody's running a race, if 4 people are running a race, a foot race around a track, and one person wins, do you give everybody a medal? No. If your kid does poorly in school, what do you tell him? Oh, just keep working and working hard and get better. Just go ahead. That's what you should tell him, right? No. Common Core says, oh, you got the wrong answer? That's okay. You did your best. Here's an award. Here's your full grade. Now, that's okay. You just go ahead. Talk to you later, Nick. He's got to run. He may have a show up. He may have a broadcast up later at distortedreality.podbean.com. And we will see what he has to say about that. Common Core, the worst piece of crap on the face of this planet. Get rid of it. No Child Left Behind. It's remnants of that. It's pieces of other fascist dictatorial educational curriculum. Get rid of it. As far as I'm concerned, I think all the school districts need to teach the basics. Reading, writing, arithmetic, how to apply certain skills to your everyday life. Such things like that. With this Common Core bull crap, all this brainwashing bull crap indoctrination has to stop. And you people out there sitting there listening to me have the opportunity to go make it stop. Especially you parents out there. You got kids ready to, or just about ready to go into kindergarten or whatever, kindergarten, or into elementary school in some grade or in high school or whatever. You better go to that school as a responsible parent for your child and say, here's what I want taught to my kids. None of this Common Core bull crap. None of this No Child Left Behind bull crap. And if they say, well, you know, we have to teach what the district gets from where? From the state? Where does the state get it from? Well, Obama wants us to learn. So did Hitler, okay? Why do you think they had Hitler Youth? Why do you think now they have, or Obama has said when your child graduates high school, they should enroll or be recruited into quote-unquote national service? Can you say Hitler Youth Corps? I don't know, man. Samo in the Spreaker chat said it perfectly. Exactly. The dumbing down of America. Charlotte Iserby wrote about that because she was second in command in the Department of Education in the Reagan administration, and she saw the brainwashing. She saw all of this. When she left because of whatever reason, go look it up. Charlotte Iserby. And it's a weird last name. I can't spell it. I don't know. But, yeah. It's the dumbing down of America. You can even look it up on YouTube. The dumbing down of America. The dumbing down of... you'll see it. There's so many things that you as a parent need to understand. And yes, Emmo, No Child Left Behind was a Bush idea, which failed miserably. Because of the fact, when you look deep inside of the curriculum, it had nothing to do with teaching you factual history. None of that. Just look at every piece of that curriculum back then. Look at it now under Common Core. It's just a different name. It's probably the same or bits and pieces of the same thing. And don't give me this crap who, you know, the naysayers and the skeptics out there are going to tell me, well, you're just not... They're going to come up with all kinds of excuses to try to justify their delusions. But I don't want to hear any more crap. I look at the facts, folks. This show shares the truth one fact at a time. I look at the facts. Well, your facts don't match mine. Really? I said it before, I'll say it again. We can both be looking at the same thing, and if you think you have different facts than I do, and I've got the facts of what I'm looking at, and we're looking at the same thing, somebody is wrong, and it sure the hell isn't me. I've learned a great deal from my parents growing up, and I don't involve myself in conversations with anybody unless I can back up what I say. And guess what? I've got file upon file upon file on my computer that can back up everything I say. And this whole Common Core bullcrap, when you look into it, it is. It's just complete bullcrap. When I was married, my stepkids had homework, and I sat down, my stepdaughter wanted me to help her with her homework. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, why not? You know? And I'm there, and I'm reading this stuff, and I'm looking at the questions that she had. I'm just kind of sitting there, and I go, well, what do you think it is? You know? And I knew what it was. And I compared it to what I could remember when I was in high school. She's like 25, 26 now. This has been a while ago. But when I was in high school many years ago, and I remember reading about this stuff that she was learning, I'm like, this is two totally different things. So I went and found one of my history books that I still had, and I don't know where it is now, but I found it, and I looked at it, and I looked at some other books that my mom has up on her shelf, and I looked at some encyclopedias of, all that. And I started doing some research, and I'm going, wait a minute, the history and the textbooks that we have now are total made-up bullcrap. They're not giving you the actual things that are happening. They're glossing it over. That's why it's a dumbing down of America. You're right, Sam. Dumbing down of America. And that's why I'm a proponent of education, of educating yourself on what actually is going on. The two things that I understand about myself is the fact that I know when I say something, I ain't lying. And I know that if somebody accuses me of that, I got something to back it up with. That's number two. Because mama didn't raise no fool. And where I went to school, as much as they tried to limit me, I excelled beyond what they even expected. But then I got to a point where I was really, really bored. So they asked me, why aren't you doing your work? Because I'm bored. Give me something else to challenge my mind. Oh, we ain't got that kind of material. Really? Okay, I'll just do the minimal stuff, get my grade, and get the hell out of school. And I did. But now, when you look at the statistics, and you can go look this up yourself, it's all over the place. The current... let's do this. Let's spread this out a little bit. The students that are graduating high school, going into college, in the last about 10 years, don't even know how to fill out a freaking application for a job. They don't know the nuances. They don't know structure. They don't know sentence structure. Hey, I'm not perfect. My grammar sucks too sometimes. They can't fill out. Most of the people, and I saw information regarding this, most of the graduates out of high school, just in the last 5 years, don't know how to fill out a college application. Is that sad? Most. Let me cut that down a little bit. Let me be more realistic. I would say somewhere about 30%. That might still be high, but about 30-35% of most girls, teenage girls that graduate high school to go into college, have a baby. Yeah, think about that one for a minute, folks. I went back to my old high school in Stockton, California. They got child care there. They got rooms for child care. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, there's there's a few girls here that had babies. What? They're barely out of freaking junior high school and they're already having kids. What? I said it right in front of the person that was, there in the office in my old high school. I said, that's stupid. And she goes, yeah, well, what can you do? What? Dumbing down of America. I'm going to do a report, and I'm going to add some Charlotte Iserby's information with some other information that I find, and also from the Department of Education, and I'll put it up on the website at freeamericaradio.weebly.com, and I'll write that up, soon. Hopefully this weekend I'll have it up, but if I don't, I'll just tell you about it next week. If you have reports, if you see stuff going on around in your area, where you live, downtown, around town, wherever you go, and specifically if you see militarized law enforcement, Federal Protective Services, Homeland Security, Police, take pictures, write up a little report, paragraph, maybe 2, send that to me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com, and I'll post it on the website. I'll even talk about it. Also, if you want to support Free America Radio Network, showing up in the Spreaker chat is one way. Thank you. But if you want to help me get to the next level, go to freeamericaradio.weebly.com. Scroll on down. There's a donate button there. Click on that. Be more than appreciative of that. And all that does is keep the website up and the show going. You can also go to the show page. That's where the show is. Also, if you put your cursor over the word more, there's the Free America Radio blog and also the store page. You can go promote your patriotism by clicking on the store page. Stuff there to buy. That only helps out keep the show up and the website going and all of that. If you don't want to do any of that, but you want to sponsor the page, you can go to sponsors page. And those rates right there on that page are good for the rest of August. And that's going to help out the show. That's going to help out keep me on air and all of that. Free America Radio Network is your network. If you have articles or you do reports or you have blogs or websites, send that information to me. I want to promote the crap out of you. If you are a freedom-loving, liberty-loving patriot of the United States of America and you stand on the Constitution, I want to promote you to the hilt. Okay? Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. I'm always looking to promote people. Always. I don't just say that either. I mean, you got stuff going on? You want other people to know about it? There you go. It's that simple. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. If you're selling something, that's a whole different ballgame. So email me and we'll talk. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com.
Join the National Down Syndrome Society's My Great Story campaign
to honor and celebrate the amazing stories of the 400,000 Americans with Down syndrome.
If you had Down syndrome, tell us about your achievements, dreams, and aspirations.
If you know someone who has Down syndrome, tell us how they've inspired you.
Visit ndss.org/stories to share your great story.
From politics to pop culture, current events and human interest stories, and even the paranormal, an eclectic radio adventure, he discusses it all and takes your calls. He's Spencer Hughes on The Spencer Hughes Show on blogtalkradio.com. Attention, show note, The Spencer Hughes Show is now on Spreaker. Check out his live broadcast and his podcast right here on Spreaker.com or his website at www.spencerhughes.net. Hey, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. This is the Views Express Live. We're here Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com or on freeamericaradio.weebly.com. You can email us at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Welcome back. We are going to get out of here because it's time to go on this Monday. Catch us tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Who knows? I might have a podcast up for the Wayne S. Pierce Show because, both of them are changing. I'm combining the efforts of both shows. I'm combining the material for both shows. So one of them's got to go. So I got to figure it out, work out the details, and, of course, take down one of the Facebook pages. So there's a lot of work involved. I just have to figure it out, and I will. If you want to contribute, you can. If you have articles or websites or blogs, you can send that information to me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. If you have audio promos for your shows that you've done, send those too. I'll play them here. Yeah, but if you're selling something, whole different ballgame, folks. Got to email me. Email me for more information at freeamericaradio@usa.com. In the meantime, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Views Express Live, broadcasting on Spreaker.com or freeamericaradio.weebly.com. Email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. And also, remember this. We the people have the power, for we are America.